Hi, supernova souls. Welcome in. I'm your master cosmologist, the head cheerleader to the stars, and the moon is in Leo as I record this. And garden hair don't care actually isn't a thing. Me and my mane, if my mane is looking like this, nothing is right in my world. But it's okay. I did just garden all day, so I don't think I'm looking too shabby for being in the dirt all day. I am going to be giving us a weekly forecast. This is for the week of May 5th through May 11th. The week ends on Mother's Day. Interestingly, I am wanting to cease using the word weak, but what's very interesting is English has so many synonyms for many words, and weak doesn't have any. How bizarre. How bizarre. How bizarre. How bizarre. How bizarre. There is one, it's hebdomadal, which is a Greek root word for the number 7 or 7 days. So maybe we'll just say this is your hebdomadal forecast. I don't know. I've always wanted to reinvent a word to replace week because we all know the programming has to go and we can't keep hearing these death sentences in our ears. Before I go into cards, I want to show you an image to give you the meat and potatoes of what I see is happening this week. We have performed a polarity flip, and essentially it is like two hanged man cards, one in reverse and one in the upright position, doing a 180. I chose these decks. One is the Tinseltown Tarot, and the other is the Villains, Disney Villain Tarot. I did not buy it to support Disney. I bought it a couple years ago to dig into some bullshit. But I chose these decks intentionally because I felt like they had the energy of the masculine and feminine polarity flip, the 180 that we're doing, the dark and the light, where you can actually see in this card, it's shaped like a particular anatomy piece, which you can't see it really. Oh, there you go. The lighting's too bright in here. He looks so shocked. Oh no, oh no, look what happens. Doo, 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 doo. Oh, there goes a little limp. He's shocked. The energy is shocked. The sex is shocked. The predominant energy is shocked. The reptiles are a little shocked because this is what's happening right now is the feminine energy is behaving as superwoman on the planet. She's the top dog. She's top shelf. She's top tier. It's not a right or wrong, bad, good, indifferent. It's really, well, it is kind of indifferent. I'm a Pisces. And to be a Pisces, you have to hold two diametrically opposed energies in you at all time. And that nothing is black or white. Nothing is as it seems. Everything is exactly as it seems, and nothing is as it seems. It's either black or white, or it's either not black or white, and it's the gray zone. And like, there's all this stuff that Pisces has the capacity to house simultaneously. But yeah, just in picture form, we just did this. Okay. So the feminine was dangling in hell and being roasted, burned alive, and the energy just did a flip. Wait, that didn't come out right, did it? Let's do it again. Ta-da! There we go. And not only is she Superwoman now, she's gonna ascend and really launch some stuff, take off, get off the ground running. Venus is still trudging through shadow in Aries. Once Venus gets beyond shadow, I feel like she's going to really get feeling good and feeling a charge and feeling revived. We got a little bit of a ways to go still, but she's getting there. She's getting there. For the cards, I'm using the Nature Nurture Oracle, Animal Magic Oracle cards, and the Enchanted 𝗺𝗸𝗀 Tarot. Interesting point I wanted to make on my last video, but I forgot, is that Uranus is at the fixed star algol. It's the demon star. Uranus does 180s. It's topsy-turvy. It takes things completely apart and throws things back together. It's 𝗪𝗺𝗀𝗀𝗀, dissolving and coagulating. And it is right now opposing Juno retrograde at 26. Scorpio, this is a different devotion. It's a completely different devotion of who's devoted to who and who serves who and who's the bad guy and who's the demon and who's the devil. And this picture combo couldn't have been more accurate. Where even the wife, the devotional qualities of the feminine on the planet just completely got turned the other way. I pull cards. I pull cards for each day of the week. I pull a blessing, a block, and an underlying energy as well as a theme. I have a theme word in mind, but I'm not 100% sure that's what wants to come through. I think I will wait to see all the cards and ascertain if that is truly what wants to come up as the word. I can't believe how goofy and out there I feel like an airhead right now, and I don't feel like I'm articulating. I don't feel like I'm delivering this well. It's okay. It's just because everything just got so cattywampus and we're not accustomed to it. And it's also mind-boggling to be like, wait, I don't have to endure this anymore. I'm not going to be treated this way any longer. It's too good to be true. And the tongue is tied and, well, it's untying, I said. All right, let's focus. Or else I'll just ramble. Tuesday, show me Tuesday. Let's move these out of the way. Wednesday. Actually, there's two cards and one wants to be tucked under the other. I'm hearing Jiminy Cricket, When You Wish Upon a Star, as I shuffle, so perhaps there's something in there. Although the underlying energy for this week that we're currently in, wait, what was that other word? 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪. For this 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪 was the star archetype. Perhaps we're really seeing that we can wish upon a star now and our dreams will come true because the world is in our favor. It's turned in, the ball's in our court. And I'm hearing the bad bay. Who run the world? Girls. Who run this mother? Who run this mother? Who run this mother? Oh, it's the bottom card here. Puppy. Puppy cat's crying in the background. A blessing. I'm very drawn to the back of the Nature Nurture deck, where it feels as if you're walking out of the labyrinth now, where you're not spiraling in a downward dissension spiral of confusion like that. And it's holylical and it's upright and it's getting you somewhere. It's not just, where is this going? You know, it's going nowhere. It leads to a dead end. It just, I don't know, there's something there. Blessing, blessing, blessings. Where are you? Oh, it's telling me to use the Tinseltown Tarot, which is kind of what I was thinking. Kind of interesting. And the block. All right, let's pull all the cards upright. Ooh, we got some nice. Oh no. Interesting. All right. No word is coming through immediately, so I'm gonna run with what I see here. And we'll try to pull a word up by the very end. Where to start? I'm gonna go with the underlying energy, which is the High Priestess. I love this so much. This is a 4-degree Black Moon Lilith in Scorpio, 4 degrees Scorpio, Black Moon Lilith, where she feels finally like she belongs, like she fits in, because it's her bad bitch era, it's her villain era, it's her world. And yes, I just feel like there's this sense of arrival, of a homecoming, of sliding into home. And I'm very drawn to the platform below her, which feels like this moon line is actually the basis of everything. The lunar energy being the feminine, where this is the foundation. It's the principle that everything sits on. It's interesting. It's something that's been coming through a lot for me, where it's not solar based, it's lunar based. And everything becomes very rhythmical, determined by the seasons, the moon. It's not these weeks where we chop things up out of sync, out of accordance with nature. There's something about a lunar calendar. I'm hearing the 13 moons calendar, where we come off of the Gregorian system. So interesting where this is going. Something I've been processing lately is that there's something about what we're stepping into that's lunar and dark. Where even if you think about how we think, how we perceive things, we actually base everything, our entire lives are based on the day. We don't perceive our lives through the lens of the night at all, except that we're dreaming and we're asleep and we're dead to the world, right? Something very deep and profound here that's going to shift, like a shift of our consciousness of when we're more predominant and more awake even. That's interesting. For the theme, I've got the sun plus the moon, which is a union. So maybe it's not that we are, okay, maybe this is where we're going with this, is that it's going to become equal and harmonized, where we're not afraid of the dark. Both are revered and honored equally in this new template, in this new era. There is a sense of yoking here. This is your inner dark crystal, your inner light crystal, your personality and your design are merging, they're melding completely. Having constellated, having come into a total union with yourself and you're my one true love forever and ever, that causes a melding. It causes the Skeksis and the mystic to merge into one and come into union, into tandem. There's also the sense of yoking with the sun in Taurus, akin to the Chariot card, you and your divine partner. It doesn't mean physical union. It doesn't mean you're not separate. It doesn't even mean that you're anywhere near each other. There just seems to be this harmonization, this tandem nature. I'm going to jot that down so I don't lose it. Words that come up, that might be the theme for the week. Okay. For the first day of the week, Monday, I've got the Six of Water, which is the nostalgia card. What I'm actually retrieving from this card is that your inner child can play now. Your inner child is being nurtured by the inner feminine. It has a permission slip to go outside, to frolic in nature, to live as the eternal child. There's this sense of complete safety and no fear. I actually do like that this image is at night, where there's night lights. It's very much like this, where you've yoked your dark side and your light side, so you have nothing to fear anymore. The night, the dark, everything is equally beautiful and comfortable. You're comfortable with all of it now, because you've housed it all, you've integrated it all. On Tuesday is the Empress. That would be 16 Taurus. I'm not going to dig too deep into it. There are some strange breeding programs. We have the Earth in Scorpio still. So yes, there's a lot of really beautiful things happening for a lot of us, but there's also a lot everting, and a lot is going to be brought to the light, where we've been in this energy for a very long time, hung upside down as the hangman, which is changing your perspective and doing the dark night of the soul and the integration of your shadows and your healing work, right? But there's a whole bunch of stuff that's still rotten and perverted and disturbing that's being hidden. And it's going to get everted because we've done this flip where she's going to take this and she's going to hoist it up into, she's going to expose it. She's going to exhume it. She's going to bring it to the light. So 16 Taurus to me, it has a lot to do with a mustached Second World War bully that had a breeding agenda. And some of that is coming up big time right now with these strange mating, breeding, superiority. It's not good. Whatever's coming up here is not good. But the flip side to that is this very natural childbirth, natural selection. There's something about natural selection that day. 1 and 6. 16 is, so 1 is Leo, 6 is Libra. The pheromones, the most robust mate, the prime breeding male. There's something like natural selection. Well, my head just, oof. My head just shook like an earthquake. Something's coming up that day with natural selection. Let's just leave it there. Let's not go too deep into territory. We don't want to dredge up nasties here. Wednesday, we've got the sun over judgment. The way I read this is pretty straight up, where you're of the world, but not of the world, you know, being of a different perspective, of a different vantage point where you can witness and hold space for everybody who's going to be here, having to look down and be in that hanged man position where this is your only job, your only work, your only focus for a long damn time. And we can just sit up here straight up, not even playing anymore, you know? Okay, I'm hearing arrival again. So I'm gonna write arrival down. On Thursday, I've got the 5 of water, which I'm going to tie in with the block energy of the week, which is the 3 of swords. There's a sense of feeling sorry for others, knowing that they are going to have to go through this. And it's heartbreaking because you know what it entails. But you can't get emotionally trapped or emotionally involved or entangled. On Friday, there's the 4 of air. Very interesting shedding of skins that I'm being drawn to with this card. I'm gonna look at pull up the chart briefly and just see what I pick up here. That's the 9th. Oh, okay. That's a mastery day of Taurus. That's 19 Taurus. Okay. One thing I'm hearing is upheaval for that day, which would be the Earth at 19 Scorpio. It's going to act like one of those dirt. What's the name of it grips the dirt in the bucket. It's one of those. Heavy equipment. There's an upheaval. And there's another sort of upheaval on the other end of the axis, which is 19 Taurus. That's a mastery degree of Taurus, where the upheaval starts to begin to build a mountain. There's some pyramidal. I'm hearing toroidal Taurus. I'll leave it at that because it's kind of deep and it's going to develop over. I think one of the things I'm seeing here is that it's actually hard to tap the energy because it's going to be very different. And we have a week of probably flip-flopping and seeing things completely different, and that being wonky, that being foreign, that being new, that being something that takes a lot of adjusting. Saturday is the Hierophant. And Sunday is the Lovers. I'm getting something here with communing with nature this weekend and beginning to hear nature spirits, maybe even connecting with them, having direct conversation, direct contact with nature. This is an awakening. This is a retrieval. These are skills that are onboarding, and these are abilities, even perception tweaks. Let me be direct, because I think I'm kind of beating around the bush here. There's an ability to commune with nature spirits. There's an ability to directly communicate and talk with the earth in a manner that we haven't had access to before. It is for the upkeep of the planet. You begin to access this. Just, okay, we covered all the cards except for the blessing, which is the Two of Pentacles. There's a chain. It's not quite a lemniscate. It's distorted shaped. Okay, so this is a Taurus field that I'm getting here. There's this motion, this gyroscope motion, and it's wonky. It's not quite, it's distorted. It's not quite running on the track the way it's supposed to, and it's not quite, the system's not quite up to speed yet. The mechanics of it is still a little wonky. As in, there's something happening with your energy field and the way you make energy in your body and a toroidal field. I'm even hearing Merkaba. I'm hearing you need to be in the sun as much as possible to activate these mechanisms, the mechanics in your body that begin to gear these things up. Woo! This is tough because life's going to start behaving very different. What else with this Two of Pentacles? I want to drop it down a little into the more mundane realm. Okay. So I just heard the message, the word for the week. It's actually two words. The first is leash and the second is unleashed. That's what is shown with the chain here. Leash and unleash. Certain things need to be put on a leash, some things need to be unleashed. If you were yanked around on a chain, you're going to be feral. You're going to be free. The yankers, the wankers, nice. That's classy. They're going on a leash. And that's just what that's about. There's also the last hit I'm getting with the blessing card with the two of pentacles and the theme of the sun and the moon is the conjoining, the melding, the merger of these two energies where you are juggling and balancing them now. As in you know how to do checks and balances, to blend them. You know how to apply a little light. You know when to apply a little dark. You know when to be a baddie. You know when to be a goodie. There's this synergy. I feel like with the imagery here, you're still going to be juggling it a bit when it's appropriate to behave certain ways and when it's not, because it's going to be quite different than what you're accustomed to. Yeah, you're going to be juggling it for a little while where you're kind of weighing it. What used to be appropriate behavior might not be anymore. And you're going to be a little off kilter, a little off balance as you adjust. Anything else want to come through for this week? I'm hearing be kind. This Three of Swords energy. Some people are really hurting. They feel bad about the way they treated you. I'm getting a sense of people finally kind of coming around and perceiving things a little different and feeling some sorrow, some remorse, some regret. But since it's in a blocked position, I don't feel like they are able to communicate it, or maybe you're not speaking to these people and they miss you. Her head is turned to the past position. The way I'm looking at it, it's to my left. So I feel like some people feel ignored by you and they're very sad and they're very lonely and their heart is hurting. So I'm hearing to be kind if you do have any dealings with said people. All right. I feel like this is all just going to develop and blossom much deeper, and it's going to pop out at me after I hit conclude, but that's what always happens. So we'll leave it there. I hope that was helpful, and I'll see you on the next week. Bye.